One thing this movie also had for it was actually a level of creepiness. Some of these prosthetics were really creepy. Like, I don't remember the robot Sai being as creepy as he was in this movie. Like, I wanted to be him as a little kid when I saw the trailer. But watching this, I'm just like, whoa, that is a interesting design. Like, the prosthetics look great, but just like the design, though, that went into them, like, ugh. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Direct to Dumpster. I am James.
My name's Blaise.
This week we are checking out the 1997 classic Star Kid, directed by Manny Coto. Or classic? I don't know about that, but it's definitely a movie that I remember. You remember.
It's a classic 90s kids movie. And we're 90s kids with a Z, if you didn't know.
Oh, yeah.
Possible other show idea. But
the Harmony Korine film is kids. Documentary on us. Yeah.
90s kids.
I think that movie's a 90s movie.
Yeah, it is. Pretty sure, or maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
But Star Kid, we were just scrolling through Amazon Prime, usually how this show starts out, if you didn't know. And it just ran into Star Kid and was like, dude, I remember this movie as a kid. And I remember it only because I was so annoying to my mother at the time. Like, every time they would show the trailer on Nickelodeon or Kids WB or the Fox Box. Yeah. I would just ask my mom, like, oh, I want to go see Star Kid. And I would just bother her.
Right.
Like, to where she begrudgingly took me and hated the whole movie.
Oh, absolutely. I can see why any parent would hate taking their kids to see this. I remember begging my parents to take me to go see it too, and I never got around to it, and I just felt like I outgrew it until today.
Well, we make dreams come true here. This was a Make-A-Wish for your little bucket list when you're a child. You know, at the top, Star Kid.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to Dominic's 8th grade birthday party to go see this movie.
Shout out to Dominic.
Didn't make it out, unfortunately. But finally, I got to see this amazingly bad movie.
It's bad, but at the same time, there's something while watching this movie. You know, I didn't remember a lot of it, and then seeing it actually here, I'm like, there's a lot of things to appreciate though in this film. Yeah, you know, it is an independent production. It's written and directed by a true auteur.
Sure.
I guess you could say. And then also, like, the level of effects are honestly, I feel like they age really well, aside for the CGI, which is something that you might say, oh, okay, yeah, the CGI is bad. That's something to laugh at. But a lot of the movies that come out in theaters now are going to be the same, where the CGI might look great, but that Black Panther final showdown fight ain't going to look good in 3 years or right now, to be honest.
Right. Yeah. It's the same thing, like at the time, it was revolutionary, and I would have been like, oh, wow, that is what a spaceship looks like. And, you know, nowadays I'm like, oh, no, Independence Day Resurgence is what a spaceship looks like.
Ooh, Independence Day Resurgence, yeah. But you look at the Star Kid, his name is Sai. Yeah. And you look at, I mean, he's not actually a person, right? He's just like a robot prototype creation in which a small alien child-like creature or a child from Earth gets in and is able to utilize his artificial intelligence as well as his mobile suit. Right. It's kind of like a Gundam, I guess, if you think about it.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I never watched that show, but from what I would expect, yeah, that sounds about right. I just like to agree with you for the most part. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan. Well, so basically, you know, I think a lot of these effects, like a lot of the animatronics to create this science fiction like suit, I feel like the age well. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because this was the first time in which you experienced this film. Me, I had seen it before, so it might just be tapping into my inner nostalgia from visiting the film the first time.
It's definitely better and a step up from like the Power Rangers, like prosthetic suits that you see in that show and everything. Like, they do look cheesy, but they're very heavily detailed, and that's what made it great. Like, you know, it's the same detail that went into Xenomorph, just the problem is it's more like a dude in a suit versus like a puppet that we saw like in James Cameron's movie and stuff. But
yeah,
you know, they look great for like a independent budget. This movie was made for 12 million, I saw, but was a huge box office bomb and only made 7 million.
Well, it did come out in January 16th, I think it was.
Which brings it to direct to dumpster. It was dumped. Yeah. No movie's meant to be a success in January, really.
And it's funny you had mentioned Dominic's birthday party. And I was even thinking to myself, did I go, because I would always like for my birthday, like go hang out at my house, like have a birthday party, but then go to the movies with like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
And this seemed like a movie that I would see with my friends for my birthday, but there's no way that this came out was still in theaters 6 months after, you know, January, where my birthday lies.
Yeah.
So
otherwise it would have had to have made 7 million, or it would have had to make like at least triple 7 million.
I was in the box office for 6 months and made 7 million.
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't know if it's still a thing now, but I remember as a kid growing up, there was always that one theater in each city that played movies that hadn't been in theaters for like 3 or 4 months. So
yeah, there definitely
was. Like a $3 ticket also.
Yeah, there definitely was. And that's like how I saw Shrek for the 4th time.
Yeah.
But I don't think that Star Kid made it that far.
So getting into the plot of the movie, it's your pretty basic like kids finds a suit kind of story. It just crashes on first after like 3 minutes of exposition of a war going on, I guess they just send a suit to Earth and what's it called? So it crashes like as a meteor into a car junkyard, and this kid watches it from a telescope. And we get some decent character development with him. He's bullied, doesn't have any friends, has a crush on a girl. His only friend is his teacher, has a bad relationship with his dad and sister after his mom passed away. I'm like, damn, this is getting heady. And then eventually though, he sees the suit crash, jumps in the suit, has your cliche like learning how to figure out the suit, goes back to fight the bully and attack him, and then like goes to spy on his crush, and then eventually aliens start and he has to protect the planet and everything, and voila, there you go.
The fate of the human race rests in Spencer and the cyber suit Psy to, you know, ward off enemy aliens. And
our main character might look familiar too. Oh, why is that? He is the kid grown up from the Lost World Jurassic Park, reprising his role from Jurassic Park.
He's not from Lost World Jurassic Park. He's just from the first Jurassic Park.
Very beginning of the movie.
He's in there?
He makes a small cameo. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to go deep into his like IMDb.
Deep cuts.
Yeah. That's what we do at Drive By Movies.
Deep cuts with Joseph Mazzello. So, I mean, I think there's a lot to like in this just 90s kind of trash movie. It's an independent movie. It's direct to dumpster. It was dumped off in January and still only, you know, barely made it didn't even make its half its budget, right?
Just barely half of it, but we're not even talking about production or like, marketing costs also.
True. I think the marketing costs were extent because we both remember this movie. This was a movie that we begged our parents to see. And I think a lot of, 90s boys, this is that 90s boy movie where kids were begging their parents to go see this bad movie.
Yeah. I'm surprised I don't remember any action figures for this movie, though. That might be why this movie failed. Also, you got to cater towards us. Like, what the hell happened there, guys?
No, there was an action figure.
There
was an action figure, but why did I not even have it?
Yeah.
There had to have been an action figure.
It's probably because your mom hated the movie so bad that she refused. Even if I didn't see a movie, I still wanted the action figure.
Dude, have you walked in a Target and seen the action figure aisles? It's pathetic.
Not lately, but I know that like more adult toys are coming out where they're mainly just meant to be on a shelf or kept in the box, and those ones are pretty cool. But yeah.
I just feel like I was interested. Like, I think I was in a Target. I'm like, oh, I'll just go check out the aisle. Just even to check out the Marvel toys, the biggest movies. I even remember having really cool Marvel toys as a kid when there were no movies and it's just based on the comics. Yeah. Like in this film, there are a lot of awesome Marvel toys in Spencer's room. Right,
there are, yeah.
But you look at those toys in the toy shelf today for like Avengers Endgame or Infinity War, and the toys are like, they're almost like a joke. Like I was like, there's like a Lego Batman, like stuff like that, where it's like, why? Like, it's not even like a Lego. It's like an action figure Lego Batman, where you're just like, what? Like, why is this even a thing?
Yeah.
Like, it's like they didn't have enough plastic to like just mold a good toy.
Jesus. Yeah.
Like the molds aren't intricate enough, as I remember as a kid, like when we had like Spawn toys almost, where your imagination would just run wild.
Oh yes.
So getting to that, like, one of the things that I kind of enjoyed about this movie was we don't see too often is that concept of a kid just being like, I want to be big.
Right.
And it all started with Tom Hanks in the movie Big, where he just wanted to be big. What if he was big for a day?
Yeah.
And he becomes, this big Tom Hanks. There's Power Rangers Turbo. I mean, he's like a little kid. He's like 12 years old, but he transforms into a Power Ranger and he's full size.
Full adult, yeah.
And that's clearly because, the Japanese production of Super Sentai, basically they were just using those Super Sentai scenes and cutting them with the American made.
Yeah.
Saban, made these American storylines and just cut it together with that original series, which was actually really cool, like Franken filmmaking.
Yeah.
But it even makes a funnier story when it gets translated in that sense.
Right, yeah. One thing this movie also had for it was actually a level of creepiness. Some of these prosthetics were really creepy. Like, I don't remember the robot Sai being as creepy as he was in this movie. Like, I wanted to be him as a little kid when I saw the trailer. But watching this, I'm just like, whoa, that is a interesting design. Like, the prosthetics look great, but just like the design, though, that went into them, like, ugh.
I know what you're saying, because I remember being a little like turned off at this when I saw the movie, where it was... from the trailers, they portrayed it as if like Joseph Mazzello was like Star Kid, like he had this suit. Yeah. But then when you watch the movie, you're like, okay, the suit also can talk. Like that, just like I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was just like, they didn't show that. I remember being upset about that, actually. Like, they didn't show this in the trailer. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah. His face being inside out, like in the inside, like
all the shots of him talking from the inside of the suit to Joseph Mazzello, where it's like they're spraying an air compressor through like the rubbery lips, like basically to make it talk. I just remember that being hilarious this time around watching it, and it's like I don't remember that as a kid. Almost.
So did it live up to your childhood expectations rewatching it? Actually,
I think it honestly did. Like I'm not saying it's like a good movie or anything, but there's something to be said about it being nostalgic, at least. And the fact that like it kind of makes me sad for the kids nowadays that just get all this stuff that has almost no creativity built into it with this. Like, this isn't a good movie. Sorry, I'm not selling that. But it's even fun to see inside Spencer's room, like all those Marvel toys and stuff. Where is that today? You don't have that imagination.
I remember I always wanted like the bedrooms that the kids had in movies and stuff, like Small Soldiers. I wanted that room that main kid lived in. Where is that? And we don't get it as much, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, this movie, I could see it being like one of my favorite movies growing up. And now that I've seen it, like, it was fun to like actually revisit it, I'd say. Yeah.
And with all that being said, I would definitely say keep this movie in the dumpster. Don't even bother watching it.
Yeah.
Like, this movie doesn't even belong. Like, as much as I'm like oohing and awing over like the prosthetics and animatronics, this movie is horrible. Like, it didn't age well. It's only because it's touching on my childlike heartstrings. But
if you're 5 years younger, 5 years older, you're gonna be like, what the hell are these guys talking about? You had to be in our specific age demographic.
You got to be a 90s kids with a Z. That's literally the only way. But other than that, this movie's gonna mean nothing to you. It's not even a good movie. So don't even bother watching it, honestly. Leave it in the dumpster. It is total trash, but I think it totally grabs that direct to dumpster movie that we're looking for.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's direct to dumpster episode, guys. We really appreciate the support, and the best way to help us out is by clicking the affiliate link below to check this movie out on Amazon.
Leave us a comment and let us know what you thought about Star Kid. Also, smash that like button. And as always, the best way to get our content delivered to you is hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell.
And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Be sure to tune in next week for more Direct to Dumpster.